So hey guys, welcome back to another video again. So in this video we are going to talk about how we can store our data into Firebase with the help of a simple edit text and with the help of a button. So what we're gonna do in this video particularly, we will try to add our data in the Firebase itself with the help of Android. Okay, so let's begin with our video. So uh, there are few prior things you need to do before going with the database part. Okay, so basically like in the last video we have done our setup from the Firebase assistant itself in Android Studio. Again we have to do like same. Okay, so again find the real-time database, get started with the real-time database, and as you can see here, another option is called add the real-time database to your app. So just simply click on add real-time database, and these are the different dependencies which will automatically updated in your project. So click on accept changes. It will take a few times. So basically with the help of assistant that's easy, and if you go on with the console part, like we have to like go to real-time database in build section, you can find real-time database in your Firebase console. So you have to enable that. Okay, so after enabling, it will ask you for the different permissions. So you can set it by default test or in locked mode as well, and then you can just simply go to rules section and changes rules to like something like this. So basically it should be true for both read and write permission. So in that way we are giving permission that anybody can read and anybody can write into our project with the help of our configuration. Okay, it will show warning when you turn it on to true, so you need not worry about that. Okay, as we are like simply developing our application, when you are building a commercial or production based application, then it might cause an issue. It depends on that, but for now we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so again we will jump back to studio and let's check the dependencies are added or not. Just simply go to Radle, and as you can see here, Firebase database has been implemented. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is our setup is done with the console as well, and now we will build the layout. So what we're gonna do, we will convert the constraint layout into linear layout, provide orientation as vertical, then simply we will create one text view and a button to store the data as well. So here edit text, mm, where it will match parent, it will be wrap content. Here I can provide the ID as simply say data, then into the 10 BP. We will provide one hint that enter data. Okay. Another thing is we will create one button match parent wrap content, or we can just make it as a wrap content for the width as well. Then we will set the text, add data. We will align this particular item, layout gravity will be centered, and we will provide one ID, add data. Okay, so for our design part it is good. Just jump back to the main activity.java file. Inside that we need to refer our both edit text and button, right? Data and button with the add data. Now we will find the IDs to link these UI elements, and we dot data, and we will do add data is equals to find view by id or dot id dot add data. So now what we're gonna do, we just when someone clicks on the button, we will set one listener. We will use on click listener. Okay, so in this way, when a user clicks on the button, uh, inside the functionality of this on click button will be implemented. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna do check that like our data is empty or not. So with the help of get text method, converting it to a string is empty, and if it is empty, then we will provide one toast, that is please enter data first. Okay, and if else, we will just store our data into Firebase. So for that we will create one function, save data Firebase, and we will pass one string parameter, that is data dot getText dot to string. So now we need to create this particular function. So outside or this bracket we will create one word function. So as we don't want anything to be returned, right, and here we will create one variable called string data. Okay, now here is the main implementation part, but before going to that, how we can like say this is particular URL where we want to store our data, or inside this URL the structure will be formed. But currently, as you can see, we cannot store a particular data because we don't have any kind of reference to it, right? So how we can refer to this location? So there is a method in the Android itself. So initially we will create one database reference object. So database reference object will hold the particular reference or the path to which our data will be stored. Okay, so I will create one reference variable, and in that reference variable we need to pass Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. So what this line do, this line will tell us this path. Okay, so this is the particular URL will be provided. And if you gonna like in future we want to add some particular like what you can say, particular tree structure or particular sub nodes, then we can just simply go with the method, that is reference dot child. And we here if we provide the path name or path string, another path will be added. So this thing will be covering in the few more another videos. So initially we will cover the basic thing and then we will go with the advanced part. Okay, so our reference is now ready. So what we gonna do, we're gonna simply reference dot child. Okay, so basically I am creating a child called data, or you can say we can just simply pass the capital, and then we can just simply set value. Okay, and we will set our value as the string value, that is data. Simple, that's it. So it is the basic and easiest way to store the particular our data. Okay, so to get acknowledgement of our data is stored or not, we can also check that add on complete listener. Okay, you can see add on complete listener, on complete listener, so it will provide us on complete listener. On complete listener will trigger only when the particular data or particular task is completed with the with Firebase and Android. So it will provide us the acknowledgement. Okay, so in on complete method we can just simply check if the task is completed or not. So if task dot is successful or is completed, you can use any of them. Simply I will go with successful because we want like confirmation it is success or not. And if it is successful, then we will display a toast message. and we will set it as data added successfully, right? And what we're gonna do, we need to clear. So like now consider, when we store data, our text box or input box should be clear, right? So for that, what we're gonna do, data dot, like here data will be considered as, yeah, it is data, right? Okay, so here data is nothing but, we gonna do, we will replace it as data str. So while developing such application, you need to take care of these kind of like different naming issues, right? So data dot set text and it will be clear. Just simple way to clear all the text. And if there is something issue, then we will, what we wanna do, we will just simply, we will just pass the error as the string and we will attach. Now I think for that part, I think we need to use another listener that like add on failure listener. Okay, or we can simply like just pass that data not added. Okay, so this is our application. This is our console looks like right now. Let's test our application first. When you click on the run functionality, it will by default open our emulator. So let's see what is going to be happen. And if there are any error, we will look into it. So initially for the first build your application, it will take a little bit of time, and after that it will like work smoothly. But for initial purpose, it will take some time. Okay, so it says app launch successful. Okay, so basically here is our simple application. Just our test our functionalities one by one. When we click on add data button, it says please enter data first. Okay, so we'll pass, this is my first data, and when we click on add data, data added successfully, the text field is empty. Now let's check it is added in Firebase. As you can see here, data, this is my first data. Okay, again, just try one thing, hello data, add data, successfully added. Here you can see it is replaced. So here it comes the problem of the basic things, right? So initially what is going to happen, we are providing our child as data and we are setting the value, right? While setting this value, you can see if we want to add a new value, it is automatically replaced by previous value as data child is already created. Okay, so for these kind of things, we need to go with the different other method of a Firebase as well. So these kind of different methods will be covered in the video of how we can add multiple data or how we can handle list of data in Firebase. So it will be like 2-3 videos then. So we will cover up all these things in that particular video. So for now, I think for the basic introduction of how we can add the data, it is sufficient. So now in next video we will see how we can read this particular data and display it in our app. So like basically we will like, after entering data, add data, or here we can simply just click on new button, view data, and we will display one text view. In that text view we will display our new data. Okay, so this is going to be our next video. So I think, yeah, for this video it is sufficient. And yeah, thanks for joining. Stay tuned for the new videos as well.